Transcending the World, Chapter 38, Part 4. If you have the book, it's on the book page 131, 131. Incense in the censer now is burning on all the Dharma resist the fragrance. From afar the sea fast host of Buddhas are all inhale in sweetness. In every place auspicious clouds intention fast fulfilling. As our Buddhas I know show their perfect bodies, I now more incense cloud canopy. I incense cloud canopy. Incense Flower adornment sutra, transcending the world.
Fundamental.
Oh, okay, sorry. Namo fundamental teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo fundamental teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo fundamental teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed, profound and wonderful Dharma is difficult to encounter in hundreds of millions of eons. I now see and hear it, receive and uphold it, and I vow to fathom the Tathagata's true meaning. Flower Adornment Sutra, Transcending the World, Chapter 38, Part 4. Disciples of the Buddha, a Bodhisattva Mahasattva makes 10 kinds of resolves. What other than they are? The resolve that I shall liberate every being, the resolve that I shall enable every being to eliminate afflictions, the resolve that I shall enable every being to eliminate bad habits, the resolve that I shall eliminate the thousand delusions of all beings, the resolve that I shall eliminate the misery and afflictions of all beings, the resolve that I shall eradicate the sufferings in all lowly paths, the resolve that I shall respect and follow all Tathagatas, the resolve that I shall thoroughly study all that the Bodhisattvas study, the resolve that I shall in all worlds see the Buddhas attaining proper awakening at a place as small as a hair tip, the resolve that I shall in all worlds beat the drum or unsurpassed Dharma, enabling beings to attain awakening according to their disposition. These are the 10. If every Bodhisattva Mahasattva were to abide peacefully in these, he would attain the resolve of Tathagata, the unsurpassed and great resolve to initiate and undertake tasks. Disciples of the Buddha, a Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of all-pervasive minds. What are the 10? They are the mind of pervading space, because his aspiration is vast and far-reaching. The mind of pervading the Dharma realms, because he deeply enters the infinite. The mind of pervading the past, present, and future, because in a single thought he knows them entirely. The mind of pervading the appearances of the Buddhas, because he clearly understands that entering the womb, being born, renouncing the secular life, completing the path, turning the Dharma wheel, and entering parinirvana. The mind of pervading all beings, because he clearly knows their sense faculty, desires and habits. The mind of pervading all wisdoms, because he complies with every being and clearly understands the Dharma realm. The mind of pervading all infinities, because he knows the differences among the nets or illusions. The mind of pervading all non-origination, because he realizes that within the inherent nature, none of the dharmas can be grasped. The mind of pervading everywhere without obstruction, because he does not abide in self or others. The mind of pervading everything with total ease, because in a single thought he completely actualizes Buddhahood. These are the 10. If every Bodhisattva Mahasattva were to abide peacefully in them, he would attain the measureless and unsurpassed Buddha Dharma that dignifies everywhere. Disciples of the Buddha, a Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of roots. What other than they are? The root of delight, because he has indestructible faith in seeing the Buddhas. The root of hope, because he understands all the Buddha Dharmas that he hears. The roots are not retreating, because he carries out his work to the ultimate. The root of abiding peacefully, because he never ceases to cultivate the Bodhisattva conduct. The root of subtlety, because he enters the subtle and wonderful principles of prajna paramita. The root of not resting, because he ultimately perfects the task of bringing beings across. The root like Vajra, because he realizes the nature of dharmas. The root of blazing Vajra light, because he thoroughly illuminates the Buddha states. The root of non-differentiation, because he has a body identical to those of all Tathagatas. The root of non-obstruction, because he deeply enters the 10 powers of the Tathagata. These are the 10. If every Bodhisattva Mahasattva were to abide peacefully in these, he would attain the perfected roots of the Tathagata's wisdom, the wisdom that is unsurpassed and great.
Disciples of the Buddha, a Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of profound minds. What are the 10? They are the profound mind that is not defiled by any worldly dharmas, the profound mind that does not mingle with any path of the two lesser vehicles,
the profound mind that clearly understands the Buddha's Bodhi, the profound mind that follows the path of wisdom of all wisdom, the profound mind that is immovable by any of the multitudes of demons and heretics, the profound mind that purely cultivates the perfect wisdom of the Tathagatas, the profound mind that receives and upholds all the Dharma that he hears, the profound mind that does not cling to any place or birth, the profound mind that fully possesses subtle wisdom, the profound mind that cultivates the entirety of the Buddha Dharma. These are the 10. If every Bodhisattva Mahasattva were to abide peacefully in these, he would attain the unsurpassed, pure, and profound mind of all wisdom. Disciples of the Buddha, a Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of ascending profound minds. What are the 10? They are the ascending profound mind of non-retreat, because he accumulates roots of goodness. The ascending profound mind of being free from doubt, because he understands the secret words of the Tathagatas. The ascending profound mind of correctly upholding, because his great vows and conduct flow into it.
The ascending profound mind of deeply entering the entirety of the Buddha Dharma. The ascending profound mind of mastering the entirety of the Buddha Dharma.
The ascending profound mind of thoroughly entering the various Dharma doors. The ascending profound mind of a former leader, because he succeeds in whatever he does. The ascending profound mind of being totally at ease, because he is endowed with all samadhis and transformations by virtue of his spiritual powers. The ascending profound mind of abiding peacefully, because he gathers in his original vows. The ascending profound mind of not resting, because he nurtures all beings to maturity. These are the 10. If every Bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he would attain the unsurpassed and pure ascending profound mind of all Buddhas. Disciples of the Buddha, a Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of diligent cultivation. What are the 10? They are the diligent cultivation of generosity, because it gives away everything without seeking any rewards. The diligent cultivation of upholding the precepts, because it cultivates Dhutanga practices. because he is always content with filled desires and never deceives anyone.
Cultivation of patience,
because he is free from thoughts of self and others, being patient with any kind of misbehavior and ultimately without any thoughts of anger or malice. The diligent cultivation of vigor, because he is never scattered in regard to body, mouth, and mind. In everything he does, he never retreats, but reaches the ultimate. The diligent cultivation of dhyana concentration, because it displays various spiritual powers from cultivating the samadhis that bring about liberation. Therefore, he is free from all the shadows of desire, affliction, and contention. The diligent cultivation of wisdom, because it cultivates and amasses meritorious virtue without becoming weary. The diligent cultivation of great kindness, because he knows that beings have no inherent nature. The diligent cultivation of great compassion, because he knows that all dharmas are empty and he stands in completely for suffering beings without becoming weary. The diligent cultivation of awakening to the 10 powers of the Tathagatas, because he has a thorough understanding that is beyond any hindrance. The diligent cultivation of the non-retreating will of Dharma, because he turns the will until it reaches the minds of all beings. These are the 10. If every Bodhisattva, Mahasattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he would attain the unsurpassed great wisdom of the Tathagata, the wisdom derived from diligent cultivation.
Disciples of the Buddha, a Bodhisattva Mahasattva, has 10 kinds of decisive understandings. What are the 10? They are
Supreme decisive understanding, because he plants the valuable roots of goodness. Sublime decisive understanding, because he brings forth various adornments. Vast decisive understanding, because he is not narrow-minded or inferior. Quiescent decisive understanding, because he is able to enter the profound Dharma nature. And compassing decisive understanding, because his result reaches everywhere. Capable decisive understanding, because he is worthy of receiving empowerment from the Buddhas. Firm decisive understanding, because he vanquishes demonic influences. Discerning decisive understanding, because he thoroughly understands all karmic retributions. Spontaneous decisive understanding, because he is freely able to display spiritual powers. Glorifying decisive understanding, because he receives predictions from the Buddhas. Sovereign decisive understanding, because he can accomplish Buddhahood whenever he wishes. These are the 10. If every Bodhisattva, Mahasattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he would attain the unsurpassed decisive understanding of the Tathagata. Disciples of the Buddha, Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, has 10 kinds of decisive understanding regarding worlds. What are the 10? They are knowing that all worlds can enter one world, knowing that one world can enter all worlds, knowing that all worlds can be encompassed by one Tathagata sitting on his lotus seat.
knowing that all worlds are like space, knowing that all worlds are replete with the Buddha's adornments, knowing that all worlds are entirely filled with bodhisattvas, knowing that all worlds can enter a single pore or pair, knowing that all worlds can enter the body of one being, knowing that all worlds can be encompassed by the Bodhi tree within the Bodhi mandala of one Buddha,
knowing that one sound can pervade everywhere throughout all worlds, the sound enabling every being to gain a thorough discernment and to rejoice. These are the 10. If every Bodhisattva, Mahasattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he would attain the vast, decisive understanding of the unsurpassable Buddha lands of the Tathagatas, disciples of the Buddha. A Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of decisive understanding regarding the realms of beings. What are the 10? They are knowing that the realms of all beings is unreal in nature, knowing that the realms of all beings can enter the body of one being, knowing that the realms of all beings can enter a Bodhisattva's body, knowing that the realms of all beings can enter the treasury or Tathagata, knowing that the body of one being can completely enter the realms of all beings, knowing that the realms of all beings is capable of serving as the vessel worthy of the whole Buddha Dharma, knowing the realms of all beings and according to their wishes, displaying the bodies of Lord Chakra, Lord Brahma, or the world-protecting celestial kings, knowing the realms of all beings and according to their wishes, displaying the quiescence and awesome deportment of heroes or solitary enlightened ones, knowing the realms of all beings and displaying the body of a Bodhisattva, the body dignified with meritorious virtues, knowing the realms of all beings and displaying the Tathagata's superior features, along with his tranquil and awesome deportment in such a way as to awaken beings. These are the 10. If every Bodhisattva Mahasattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he would attain the decisive understanding of the power of the Tathagata, the power that is unsurpassed, awesome, and great. End of Transcending the World, Chapter 38, Part 4. Part 5. Disciples of the Buddhas. A Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of habits. What are the 10? They are the habit of bringing forth the Bodhi mind, the habit of developing roots of goodness, the habits of teaching and transforming beings, the habit of beholding Buddhas, the habit of undergoing birth in pure worlds, the habit of cultivating good conduct, the habit of keeping vows, the habit of cultivating paramitas, the habit of pondering the Dharma of equality, the habit of discerning the differences among various states. These are the 10. If every Bodhisattva would abide peacefully in these dharmas, he would be forever free from the habit of afflictions and attain the Tathagata's habit of great wisdom, the wisdom that is free from all habits.
Disciples of the Buddha, a Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of graspings on which he continues cultivating the Bodhisattva conduct. What are the 10? They are
Grasping the realms of beings, because the Bodhisattva ultimately teaches and transforms beings, grasping all worlds, because he ultimately adorns and purifies them, grasping Tathagatas, because he cultivates the Bodhisattva conduct by making offerings to them, grasping roots of goodness, because he amasses meritorious virtues that result in obtaining superior features like those of the Buddhas, grasping great compassion because he eliminates the suffering of all beings, grasping great kindness because he bestows all kinds of wisdom and happiness upon every being, grasping paramitas because he accumulates the adornments of bodhisattvas, grasping skillful expedient means because he appears everywhere, grasping bodhi because he has attained unimpeded wisdom. Briefly speaking, he grasps all dharmas in every place because he reveals understanding through his clear wisdom everywhere. These are the 10. If every bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these graspings, he would be able to perpetuate the bodhisattva conduct and attain the Tathagata's unsurpassed dharmas of having nothing to grasp. Disciples of the Buddha, Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of cultivation. What are the 10? They are cultivating all paramitas, cultivating knowledge, cultivating wisdom, cultivating principles, cultivating dharma, cultivating transcendence, cultivating spiritual manifestations, cultivating diligent practice, cultivating practices toward equal and proper awakening, cultivating the practice of turning the wheel of proper dharma. These are the 10. If every bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these, he would attain the unsurpassed cultivation of all dharmas.
Disciples of the Buddha, a bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of accomplishments in the Buddha Dharma. What are the 10? They are accomplishment in the Buddha Dharma by always remaining associated with good spiritual advisors,
Accomplishment in the Buddha Dharma by having deep faith in the Buddha's words, accomplishment in the Buddha Dharma by never slandering the proper Dharma, accomplishment in the Buddha Dharma by making transference of measureless and inexhaustible roots of goodness, accomplishment in the Buddha Dharma by believing in and understanding the boundless and endless states of the Tathagatas, accomplishment in the Buddha Dharma by knowing the states of all worlds, accomplishment in the Buddha Dharma by not renouncing the states of the Dharma, accomplishment in the Buddha Dharma by avoiding all demonic states, accomplishment in the Buddha Dharma by being properly mindful of all Buddha states, accomplishment in the Buddha Dharma by joyfully seeking the states of the 10 powers of the Tathagata. These are the 10. If every bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he would accomplish the unsurpassed wisdom of the Tathagatas. Disciples of the Buddha, a bodhisattva Mahasattva may encounter 10 kinds of regression from the Buddha Dharma. What are the 10? They are
regressing from the Buddha Dharma by sliding good spiritual advisors, regressing from the Buddha Dharma by fearing the sufferings of death and rebirth,
regressing from the Buddha Dharma by wearing or cultivating bodhisattva practices, regressing from the Buddha Dharma by being unwilling to abide in the world, regressing from the Buddha Dharma by clinging to the states of samadhi, regressing from the Buddha Dharma by clinging to roots of goodness, regressing from the Buddha Dharma by slandering the proper Dharma, regressing from the Buddha Dharma by discontinuing bodhisattva practices, regressing from the Buddha Dharma by enjoying the paths of the two vehicles, regressing from the Buddha Dharma by having aversion to bodhisattvas. These are the 10. If every bodhisattva keeps away from these dharmas, he will enter the bodhisattva's path of transcending the world of rebirth. Disciples of the Buddha, a bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 paths of transcending the world of rebirth. What are the 10? They are giving birth to prajna paramita, yet constantly observing every being. This is the first. Being free from views, yet liberating beings who are bound by views. This is the second. Being free from connection of appearances, yet
not forsaking any being who attaches to appearance. This is the third. Having transcended the 3 realms, yet always remaining in the womb. This is the fourth. Being forever free from afflictions, yet dwelling together with all beings. This is the fifth.
Having mastered the Dharma of becoming free from desires, yet always with great compassion, empathizing with beings who are attached to desires. This is the sixth. Being constantly delighted in tranquility, yet forever appearing among his retinues and followers. This is the seventh. Having left worldly birth, yet undergoing rebirth here and there to bring forth the bodhisattva practices. This is the eighth. remaining undefiled by any worldly dharma, yet not ending all worldly activities. This is the ninth. Witnessing the Bodhi of all Buddhas, yet never renouncing any bodhisattva vow or conduct. This is the 10th. Disciples of the Buddha. These are a bodhisattva Mahasattva's 10 paths for transcending the round of rebirth. This kind of transcendence is totally distinct from the world and does not mingle with the practices of the two vehicles. If every bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these 10, he would attain the qualities or certainty of all bodhisattvas.
Disciples of the Buddha, a bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 qualities of certainty. What are the 10? They are the certainty of being born in the clan of the Tathagata, the certainty of abiding in Buddha states, the certainty of clearly understanding the work of bodhisattvas, the certainty of abiding peacefully in the Paramattha's, the certainty of taking part in the assemblies of the Tathagatas,
the certainty of being able to reveal the essence of the Tathagata, the certainty of peaceful dwelling in the powers of the Tathagatas, the certainty of deeply entering the Buddha's Bodhi, the certainty of having the same body as all Tathagatas, the certainty of dwelling in the same place as all Tathagatas. These are the 10 disciples of the Buddha. A bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 ways of realizing the path of the Buddha Dharma. What are the 10? They are associating in accordance with wholesome friends is a way to realize the path of the Buddha Dharma, because he has previously planted roots of goodness together with them. Believing and understanding with a profound mind is a way to realize the path of the Buddha Dharma, because from this he knows the Buddha's self-mastery. Making great vows is a way to realize the path of the Buddha Dharma, because from this his heart becomes generous and vast. Being patient with his own roots of goodness is a way to realize the path of the Buddha Dharma, because from this he knows that his effort is not in vain. Cultivating throughout all karmas without becoming weary is a way to realize the path of the Buddha Dharma, because it encompasses the future. Appearing throughout an asankhya number of worlds is a way to realize the path of the Buddha Dharma, because it nurtures beings to maturity. Continuing the Bodhisattva's practices is a way to realize the path of the Buddha Dharma, because this increases great compassion. An infinite mind is a way to realize the path of Buddha Dharma, because one thought pervades all of space. The unique and supreme conduct is a way to realize the path of the Buddha Dharma, because through this the previous cultivation is preserved.
The essence of the Tathagata is a way to realize the path of the Buddha Dharma, because it enables all beings to joyfully bring forth the Bodhi resolve and allows them to be nurtured by the wholesome dharmas of bodhisattvas. These are the 10. If every bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he will attain the title of great hero.
Disciples of the Buddha, a bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 titles to signify his great heroism. What are the 10? He is called Bodhisattva because he is born from the wisdom of Bodhi. He is called Mahasattva because he abides peacefully within the Mahayana. He is called Prime Sattva because of realizing the primary Dharma. He is called Superior Sattva because of awakening to the Superior Dharma. He is called Supreme Sattva because his wisdom is supreme. He is called Surpassed Sattva because of giving rise to surpassed vigor. He is called Unsurpassed Sattva because of expounding and revealing the unsurpassed Dharma. He is called Power Sattva because of expansively knowing the 10 powers. He is called Peerless Sattva because of having no peers in the world. He is called Inconceivable Sattva because of accomplishing Buddhahood in one thought. These are the 10. If every Bodhisattva were to attain these titles, he would accomplish the Bodhisattva path.
Disciples of the Buddha. A Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 ways that lead to the path. What are the 10? They are as follows. The one path leads to the Bodhisattva path because he does not give up the soul Bodhi resolve. The two paths lead to the Bodhisattva path because he gives birth to wisdom and experience.
The three paths leads to the Bodhisattva path because his practices are empty of appearances, empty of wishes, and empty of attachment to the three realms. The four practices lead to the Bodhisattva path because he plans to eliminate obstacles from offenses, compliantly rejoices in blessings and virtue, respectfully requests the Dharma from the Tathagatas, skillfully makes transferences. The 5 words lead to the Bodhisattva path because he abides peacefully in pure faith and he is determined and unshakable, gives rise to great vigor and reaches the ultimate in his work, always practices proper mindfulness and is above reciprocity, skillfully applies experience in entering into and emerging from samadhi, is adapted at differentiating states of wisdom. The 6 spiritual penetrations lead to the Bodhisattva path because with the heavenly eye, he can see the multitude of forms in all the worlds and knows living beings dying in one place and being reborn in another. With the heavenly ear, he can hear all Buddhas speaking Dharma, receives, upholds, and remembers it. He then expounds in fluently and widely according to the potential of each being. With the knowledge of others' thoughts, he can read their minds effortlessly without obstacles. With the recollection of past lives, he can recollect throughout the past kalpas and strengthen his reserve goodness. With complete spiritual penetration, he can appear in any place for all beings who are meant to be transformed and cause them to diligence in the Dharma, to delight in the Dharma. With the wisdom attained from ending all outflows, he awakens to reality and ceaselessly advances in his Bodhisattva conduct.
The 7 mindfulnesses lead to the Bodhisattva path. They are mindfulness of the Buddhas because he sees infinite Buddhas in a single hairpole and awakens the minds of all beings.
Mindfulness of Dharma because he, without having to leave one Tathagata's assembly, is present in all the assemblies of Tathagatas, receiving the wonderful Dharma, expounding it according to beings' potentials, desires, and joys, causing them to awaken. Mindfulness of Sangha because he always sees the Sangha without rest, beholding the other Bodhisattvas in the world. Mindfulness of renunciation because he understands clearly all the Bodhisattvas' practices of renunciation and expands his mind of great giving. Mindfulness of the precepts because he does not forsake the Bodhi resolve, but instead transforms all of his roots of goodness to beings. Mindfulness of heaven because he always remembers the Bodhisattva in the palace of Toshita heaven who is to become a Buddha in his next life. Mindfulness of beings because he teaches, transforms, guides, and disciplines them with wisdom and expedient means, reaching everywhere ceaselessly. Following the Eightfold Noble Path leading to Bodhi is the Bodhisattva path. They are practicing the path of right field because he avoids mistaken fields, giving rise to right thought because he gives up false discriminations, and his mind always accords with all wisdom, always practicing right speech because he avoids 4 errors in speech and accords with the sage's words, constantly practicing right deeds because he teaches and transforms being for the sake of causing them to become peaceful and harmonious, firmly taking up right livelihood because he cultivates Dhutanga practices, remains content, maintains complete, upright, and awesome deportment, accords with Bodhi, cultivates the 4 practices of sages, and is forever free from any kinds of faults, giving rise to right vigor because he diligently cultivates the ascetic practices of bodhisattvas and enters the Buddha's 10 powers without obstruction. Always keeping his mind in right mindfulness because he remembers and upholds words and sounds, eliminating all the distracting thoughts of the world. Always keeping his mind in right concentration because he skillfully enters the inconceivable doors to liberation that are cultivated by bodhisattvas, and within one samadhi he produces all kinds of samadhis. Entering the 9 sequential samadhis is the bodhisattva path. They are as follows. He is free from desire, hatred, and harmfulness, and speaks Dharma in various kinds of languages without hindrance. He has eliminated coarse thoughts and fine analysis, yet he teaches and transforms beings with coarse thoughts and fine analysis within all wisdom. He has renounced joy and love, yet his mind is filled with great joy and admiration upon seeing the Buddhas. He has given up worldly enjoyments, yet resonates with delight in the bodhisattva path, the kind of delight that transcends that of the former. From this unmoving state, he enters the samadhi of the realm of no form, yet he does not abandon undergoing birth in the realm of desire and in the realm of form. Although he abides in the samadhi or total cessation, he does not stop cultivating the bodhisattva conduct. Learning the 10 powers of a Buddha is the bodhisattva path. They are the wisdom of skillfully distinguishing what is right or wrong, the wisdom of skillfully knowing all beings, causes, and defects, regarding the karmic retribution of the past, present, and future, the wisdom of skillfully knowing the difference among beings' high, medium, and low levels of potentiality, and speaking Dharma appropriately, the wisdom of skillfully knowing the infinite
different natures of beings, the wisdom
of skillfully distinguishing beings' understandings, whether inferior, medium, or superior, and in expediently enabling beings to enter the Dharma, the wisdom of pervading all world systems and lands in all the 3 periods of time and all kalpas, universally manifesting the appearance and awesome deportment of the Tathagata, yet not giving up the conduct of a bodhisattva, the wisdom of skillfully knowing all kinds of dhyana liberations and all kinds of samadhis, either defiled or pure, timely or untimely, expediently producing the liberation doors of all bodhisattvas, the wisdom of distinguishing between how beings die in one place and undergo rebirth in another, throughout all destinies, the wisdom of knowing well within a single thought the total count of kalpas in the 3 periods of time, the wisdom of skillfully knowing the complete distinction of all beings' precious desires, afflictions, and delusional habits, yet not giving up the conduct of a bodhisattva. These are the 10. If every bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he would attain the path of all the unsurpassed expedient means of the Tathagatas. Disciples of the Buddha, a bodhisattva Mahasattva, has 10 kinds of immeasurable paths. Immeasurable means that aid cultivation, immeasurable paths of cultivation, and immeasurable paths of adornments. Disciples of the Buddha, A Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of immeasurable paths. What are the 10? They are as follows.
Because space is immeasurable, the Bodhisattva path is also immeasurable. Because the Dharma realm is boundless, the Bodhisattva path is also immeasurable. Because the realm of beings is endless, the Bodhisattva path is also immeasurable. Because the world is boundless, the Bodhisattva path is also immeasurable. Because the number of kalpas is inexhaustible, the Bodhisattva path is also immeasurable.
Because the language of being is countless, the Bodhisattva's path is also immeasurable. Because the Tathagata's body is immeasurable, the Bodhisattva path is also immeasurable. Because the Buddha's voice is immeasurable, the Bodhisattva path is also immeasurable. Because the Tathagata's powers is immeasurable, the Bodhisattva path is also immeasurable. Because the wisdom of all wisdom is immeasurable, the Bodhisattva path is also immeasurable. These are the 10. Namo Samanta Mata Nana Balati Hata Janani Ajimi Jimi Danda Kadana Mawa Sante Balati Buddha Buddha Danda Kadana Mawa Hong Pasaha
Namo Samanta Mata Balati Hata Janani Jimi Jimi Danda Kadana Mawa Sante Balati Buddha Danda Kadana Mawa Pasaha Namo Samanta Mata Balati Hata Janani Jimi Jimi Danda Kadana Mawa Sante Balati Buddha Danda Kadana Mawa Hong Pasaha.
Praise for the 8th assembly. In the assembly for the 3rd time, in the Universal Light Palace, the myriad practices are perfectly cultivated, from Samattabhadra's fossil, 2,000 responses pour forth. In the ocean of suffering, he sails the boat of kindness. A single phrase totally encompasses all Dharma meanings together, yet all pervasive. Dedication of merit. May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May the boundless light break the darkness of the endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise. 3 bows. respect to the Venerable Master. Nam mô Ta Phang Quang Pho Hoa Yan Ji Hoa Yan Hai Hui Pho Pu Sa.
We will continue with the Avatamsaka Sutra, Transcending the World, chapter 38, book pages 154. The list is 5.12. Immeasurable means that aid cultivation. Namo fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed, profound and wonderful Dharma is difficult to encounter in hundreds of millions of eons. I now see and hear it, receive and uphold it, and I vow to fathom the Tathagata's true meaning. Flower Adornment Sutra, Transcending the World, Chapter 38, Part 5. Disciples of the Buddha, a Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of immeasurable means that aid cultivation. They are as follows. In the same way that the realm of space is immeasurable, the Bodhisattva's accumulation of the means that aid cultivation is likewise immeasurable. In the same way that the Dharma realm has no boundary, the Bodhisattva's accumulation of the means that aid cultivation likewise has no boundary. In the same way that the realms of beings have no end, the Bodhisattva's accumulation of the means that aid cultivation is likewise endless. In the same way that the worlds are boundless, the Bodhisattva's accumulation of the means that aid cultivation is likewise boundless. In the same way that the act of speaking about the number of couples can never be completed, the Bodhisattva's accumulation of the means that aid cultivation can likewise never be fully spoken about in all the worlds. In the same way that the languages of beings are immeasurable, the Bodhisattva's accumulation of the means that aid cultivation is likewise immeasurable. By these means they produce the wisdom that comprehends the languages of beings. In the same way that the body of the Tathagata is immeasurable, the Bodhisattva's accumulation of the means that aid cultivation is likewise immeasurable, and pervades all beings, all lands, all times, and all kalpas. In the same way that the Buddha's voice is immeasurable, the Bodhisattva's accumulation of the means that aid cultivation is likewise immeasurable. By virtue of these means, all beings can hear and understand the Bodhisattva's single voice that pervades the entire Dharma realm. In the same way that the power of the Buddha is immeasurable, the Bodhisattva's accumulation of the means that aid cultivation through the power of the Tathagata is likewise immeasurable. The wisdom of all wisdom is immeasurable. The Bodhisattva's accumulation of the means that aid cultivation is likewise immeasurable. Disciples of the Buddha, a Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of infinite paths of cultivation. What are the 10? They are cultivation that is without coming or going, because he is unmoved in his actions, speech, or thoughts. Cultivation that is without increase or decrease, because it accords with the inherent nature. Cultivation that is neither existent nor non-existent, because there is no self-nature. Cultivation in which he sees that things are like an illusion, or a dream, or a shadow, or an echo, or a reflection in a mirror, or a mirage, or like a moon reflecting in water, and is free from all attachments. Cultivation in which he sees things as empty, as having without any characteristics, volition, or doings, because he clearly sees the 3 realms and accumulates blessings of virtue without rest. Cultivation that is beyond speech, without speech, and apart from speech, because he is free from any established construct. Cultivation in which he does not abrogate the Dhamma realm, because wisdom becomes apparent to him, and he directly knows all Dhammas. Cultivation in which he does not abrogate the ultimate truth of truth thusness, because he universally enters into the utmost truth and utmost emptiness of truth suchness. Cultivation of vast wisdom, because his strength in accomplishing all things is inexhaustible. Cultivation by abiding in the Tathagata's 10 powers and 4 fearlessnesses, as well as dwelling in the wisdom of all wisdom, and he can see all Dhammas without any doubt or delusion. These are the 10. If every Bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these Dhammas, he will attain the unsurpassed, perfect, and skillful cultivation of all wisdom of the Tathagata. Disciple of the Buddha, a Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 paths of adornment. What are the 10? Disciples of the Buddha, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, without having to leave the desire realm, can go to the realm of form or the realm of no form, and there enters the liberation of jhana, concentration, and various kinds of samadhis. Yet he need not undergo rebirth there because of this. This is the first path of adornment. With wisdom manifested before him, he enters the path of hearers without having to take the hearer's path of transcendence. This is the second path of adornment. With wisdom he manifested before him, he enters the path of Prajika Buddhas, yet he brings forth great compassion without rest. This is the third path of adornment. Although he has human and celestial families and retinue surrounding him, and hundreds of thousands of court ladies singing and dancing for him and waiting upon him, he never temporarily leaves the liberation of jhana, concentration, and various kinds of samadhis. This is the fourth path of adornment. Although he takes part in amusements and experiences pleasure and happiness with all beings, he never for a single instant leaves the samadhi of equality of a bodhisattva. This is the fifth path of adornment. He has already perfected all the paramitas of the world and has no attachment to worldly dharmas, yet he does not abandon the practice of bringing beings across. This is the sixth path of adornment. He abides peacefully in the right path, right knowledge and right views, yet he adheres in the lowly paths without taking them to be true or pure, thereby causing the beings there to be free from improper dharmas. This is the seventh path of adornment. He constantly protects and upholds the pure precepts of the Tathagata without transgressing in regard to the karma of body, speech, and thought. For the sake of teaching and transforming beings who have violated the precepts, he appears to be involved in the activities of ordinary and foolish people, although he is already replete with purity, blessings, and virtue, and is abiding in the destiny of bodhisattvas. He might appear being born in the health, in the animal realm, or among on hungry ghosts, as well as in dangerous, difficult, and destitute places. He helps the beings there to attain liberation. However, in actuality, the Bodhisattva is not born in these destinies. This is the eighth path of adornment. Without being taught by others, he attains unimpeded eloquence. His wisdom light universally illuminates all Buddha Dharma. He is blessed with the spiritual powers of the Tathagata and shares the same Dharma body with all Buddhas. He has accomplished the esoteric Dharmas of great people, Dharmas that are solid, bright, and pure. He peacefully abides in the vehicles of universal impartiality, and all the states of the Buddhas appear before him. He fully possesses the light of worldly knowledge, therefore illuminates all the realms of beings. He is capable of serving as the guiding master for beings, yet he seeks proper Dharma without rest. Although he has actually served as a supreme teacher for beings, he shows respecting Acharya monks. Why is this so? The Bodhisattva Mahasattva expediently abides in the Bodhisattva path, manifesting whatever is appropriate. This is the ninth path of adornment. The Bodhisattva Mahasattva fully possesses roots of goodness, reaches the ultimate in every place, and has achieved anointment on the crown by all the Tathagatas. Arriving at the other shore of total self-mastery over dharmas, he wears the turban of unobstructed Dharma on his head. With his body pervading all worlds, he universally manifests the unimpeded body of the Tathagata. Having attained self-mastery over all dharmas, he reaches the supreme ultimate and turns the wheel of unobstructed and pure Dharma. Having perfected all dharmas of self-mastery of bodhisattvas, for the sake of beings, he appears as being born in all lands. He shares the same state with all Buddhas of the three periods of time, yet do not forsake the bodhisattva's conduct, nor gives up the dharmas of a bodhisattva, nor neglects the deeds of a bodhisattva, nor leaves the bodhisattva path, nor slackens in the deportment of a bodhisattva, nor ceases the graspings of a bodhisattva, nor relinquishes the skillful experience of a bodhisattva, nor cuts out the work of a bodhisattva, nor bloats his role at the developmental stage of a bodhisattva, nor stops the sustaining powers of a bodhisattva. Why is this so? Because the bodhisattva wishes to quickly realize that Nuttara Samyak Sambodhi. He contemplates the door of all wisdom and cultivates the bodhisattva conduct without rest. This is the 10th path of adornment. If every bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he will attain the unsurpassed great path of the Tathagata's adornments without abandoning the bodhisattva path. Disciples of the Buddha, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of feet. What are the 10? They are the feet of upholding the precepts, because his supreme great vows have been fully perfected. The feet of vigor, because he collectively practices all the methods as prescribed by the wings to awakening without retreating. The feet of spiritual penetrations, because he accords with the desires of beings, causing them to be joyful. The feet of spiritual powers, because he travels to all Buddha lands without leaving one Buddha land. The feet of a profound mind, because he vows to seek all supreme dharmas. The feet of solid vows, because he achieves the ultimate in everything he does. The feet of compliance, because he never opposes the teachings of the honored ones. The feet of delight in Dharma, because he hears and upholds the Dharmas that the Buddha speaks and never grows weary. The feet of Dhamma, because he fearlessly proclaims the teachings for beings. The feet of cultivation, because he is free from all misdeeds. These are the 10. If every bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he will attain the unsurpassed feet of the Tathagata. With one stride he can reach anywhere in all the worlds. Disciples of the Buddha, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of hands. What are the 10? They are the hands of deep faith, because he always accepts and upholds the Buddha's teaching. The hands of giving, because he satisfies those who come to seek. The hands of initiating greetings, because he extends his right palm to welcome and guide. The hands of making offerings to all Buddhas, because he always accumulates blessings and virtue and never grows weary. The hands of extensive learning and skillfulness, because he resolves the doubts of beings. The hands of helping to transcend the three realms, because he lends a helping hand to beings, extricating them from the mud of desire. The hand of transporting to the other shore, for the sake of rescuing those who are drowning in the four rapids. The hands of generous giving of the proper Dharma, because he instructs beings by using wonderful Dharma. The hands of skillful application of reasoned argument, because he eradicates physical and mental illness with the medicine of wisdom. The hands of constantly upholding the gem of wisdom, because he unfurls the Dharma light that destroys the darkness of affliction. These are the 10. If every bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he will attain the Tathagata's unsurpassed hands, universally covering all the worlds of the 10 directions. Disciples of the Buddha, a bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of bellies. What are the 10? They are the belly free of flattery and guile, because his thoughts are pure; the belly free of deception, because he is straightforward by nature; the belly free of falsehood, because he never uses phony or provocative words;
the belly free of
extortion, because he is not greedy for anything; the belly of ending afflictions, because he is replete with wisdom; the belly of a pure heart, because he is free from all misdeeds; the belly of contemplating drink and food, because he is mindful of the Dharma of reality; the belly of contemplating non-action, because he has awakened to all conditioned causations; the belly of awakening to paths of transcendence, because he skillfully nurtures profound minds to maturity; the belly of freedom from the defilement of extreme views, because he enables beings to enter the belly of the Buddha. These are the 10. If every bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he will attain the Tathagata's unsurpassed vast and great belly and be able to contain all beings. Disciples of the Buddha, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of internal organs. What are the 10? They are perpetuating the seed of the Buddhas is an organ of the Bodhisattva, because he reveals and teaches the Buddha Dharma and is replete with infinite awesome virtue. Growing the seed of the Dharma is an organ of the Bodhisattva, because he generates the vast and great light of wisdom. Preserving the seed of the Sangha is an organ of the Bodhisattva, because he enables beings to gain access to the irreversible wheel of Dharma. Awakening beings who are in proper concentration is an organ of the Bodhisattva, because he skillfully adapts to proper timing without being hindered by even a single thought. Ultimately nurturing unsettled beings to maturity is an organ of the Bodhisattva, because he enables their causes to continue. Giving rise to great compassion for beings who are caught in improper samadhi is an organ of the Bodhisattva, because he enables all their future causes to be accomplished.
Perfecting the indestructible causes of all the Buddhas and power
is an organ of the Bodhisattva, because he is endowed with the unparalleled roots of goodness with which to vanquish the demon armies. The supreme and fearless roar of the great lion is an organ of the Bodhisattva, because he delights all beings. Attaining the Buddha's 18 unique qualities is an organ of the Bodhisattva, because his wisdom encompasses every place. Comprehensively knowing all beings, all lands, all dharmas, and all Buddhas is an organ of the Bodhisattva, because within one thought he clearly sees everything. These are the 10. If every bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he will attain the Tathagata's unsurpassed roots of goodness and indestructible internal organs of great wisdom. Disciples of the Buddha, a bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of hearts. What are the 10? They are the heart of vigor, because he successfully completes everything he undertakes; the heart of diligence, because he amasses practices that bring about superior features, blessings, and virtue; the heart of great courage, because he vanquishes all the demon armies; the heart of cultivating according to principle, because he removes and ends all of his afflictions; the heart of never retreating, because he does not rest until he attains Bodhi; the heart of pure nature, because having no attachments, he knows that his mind is immovable, the heart of knowing beings, because he enables them to transcend according to each one's desire and level of understanding, the heart of enabling beings to be immersed in the Buddha Dharma and to abide in the mind of great purity, because he knows all beings' desires and levels of understanding, and will never rescue and protect them by means of any other vehicle, the heart of emptying marks, wishes and effort, because he is unattached upon seeing the marks of the three realms,
the heart adorned with
the mark of the character of one, and a Vajra tragedy of superior and sturdy quality, because even the approaching demons, as numerous as beings, cannot move a strand of the Bodhisattva's hair. These are the 10. If every Bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he will attain the Tathagata's heart of great wisdom, unsurpassed and brilliant. Disciples of the Buddha, a Bodhisattva Mahasattva dons 10 kinds of armor. What are the 10? They are the armor of great kindness, because he rescues and protects beings, the armor of great compassion, because he is capable of bearing any kind of suffering, the armor of great vows, because he successfully completes everything he undertakes, the armor of transference, because he is able to build up all the endowments of a Buddha, the armor of blessings and virtue, because he greatly benefits all beings, the armor of paramitas, because he saves and liberates all sentient beings, the armor of wisdom, because he dispels the darkness of the afflictions of all beings, the armor of skillful expedience, because he produces the roots of goodness through the universal door, the armor of the resolve for all wisdom, the resolve that is firm and free of distractions, because he takes no delight in any other vehicle, the armor of single-minded decisiveness, because he is free from doubt regarding the Dharma. These are the 10.
If everybody
were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he would don the unsurpassed armor and helmet of the Tathagata, and would be able to vanquish all demon armies. Disciples of the Buddha, a Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of weapons. What are the 10? They are: giving is the Bodhisattva's weapon, because he destroys all stinginess. Upholding the precepts is the Bodhisattva's weapon, because he eliminates all transgressions. Impartiality is the Bodhisattva's weapon, because he breaks off all discriminations. Wisdom is the Bodhisattva's weapon, because he breaks off all afflictions. Right livelihood is the Bodhisattva's weapon, because he stays away from all types of improper livelihood. Skillful expedience is the Bodhisattva's weapon, because he appears everywhere. All kinds of afflictions such as greed, hatred, and delusion in general are the Bodhisattva's weapons, because he brings beings across through the door of afflictions. Undergoing death and rebirth is the Bodhisattva's weapon, because he teaches beings without abandoning the Bodhisattva conduct. Speaking the Dharma of reality is the Bodhisattva's weapon, because he breaks off all kinds of attachments. All wisdom is the Bodhisattva's weapon, because he does not close the doors to the Bodhisattva conduct. These are the 10. If every Bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he will be able to relieve all beings of the fetters and bondage of afflictions accumulated throughout the long nights. Disciples of the Buddha, a Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of heads. What are the 10? They are the head of nirvana, because none can see the crown of his head, the head of respect, because all humans and gods revere and bow to him, the head of expansive and supreme understanding, because he is supreme throughout the 3,000 great world systems, the head of the foremost fruits of goodness, because all beings in the three realms make offerings to him, the head of carrying beings, because he achieves the flesh protuberance on the crown of his head, the head of never slighting others, because he is honored and supreme in every place, the head of Prajna Paramita, because he grows and nourishes the dhammas of meritorious virtue, the head of interoperative expedient wisdom, because he universally appears in the corresponding form to any type of being, the head of teaching all beings, because he takes all of them as his disciples, the head of guarding all the Dharma eyes of the Buddha, because he does not allow the essence of the three jewels to become extinct. These are the 10. If every bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he will attain the Tathagata's unsurpassed head of great wisdom, disciples of the Buddha. A bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of eyes. What are the 10? They are the flesh eye, for he sees all forms, the heavenly eye, for he sees the minds of all beings, the wisdom eye, for he is able to see the mental faculties and the states of all beings, the Dharma eye, for he sees all dharmas as reality, the Buddha eye, for he sees the 10 powers of the Tathagata, the eye of insight, for he understands all dharmas, the eye of light, for he sees the light of the Buddha, the eye of transcending death and rebirth, for he sees nirvana, the unhindered eyes, for he sees everything without obstruction, the eye of all wisdom, for he sees the Dhamma as the universal door. These are the 10. If every bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he will attain the Tathagata's unsurpassed eye of great wisdom, disciples of the Buddha. A bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of ears. What are the 10? They are, upon hearing praises, he terminates craving. Upon hearing slander, he eradicates anger. Upon hearing the speech of the two vehicles, he neither becomes attached to nor seeks after them. Upon hearing about the bodhisattva path, he becomes delighted and is enthusiastic about it. Upon hearing about the hells and other places of great torment and suffering, he gives rise to a mind of great compassion and brings forth liberal vows. Upon hearing about the wonderful things in the heaven and human realms, he knows that these are but things of impermanence. Upon hearing praises of the Buddha's meritorious virtue, he becomes more vigorous to quickly perfect his own. Upon hearing the principles of the 6 paramitas, the 4 attractions and others, he brings forth a resolve to cultivate and vows to reach the other shore. Upon hearing all the sounds of the worlds throughout the 10 directions, he knows these are like echoes, and he penetrates their inexpressible, profound, and wonderful meanings. Upon constantly hearing the proper Dharma without pause, for that from the time of his initial resolve up to and including the time of his reaching the Bodhi Mandala, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva never gives up the work of transforming beings. These are the 10. If every bodhisattva were to accomplish these dharmas, he will attain the Tathagata's unsurpassed years of great wisdom, disciples of the Buddha. The Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of noses. What are the 10? They are as follows. When smelling stench, he does not judge it as stinking. When smelling fragrance, he does not judge it as fragrant. When smelling both stench and fragrance, he remains impartial. When smelling neither stench nor fragrance, he abides peacefully in renunciation. When smelling the stench or scent of the clothes, sleeping materials, and limbs or bodies of beings, he knows the proportion of their greed, anger, and delusion. When smelling the fragrance of all kinds of hidden treasures, grasses, woods, and so forth, he clearly distinguishes them as if they were present in front of him. When smelling the smells from the realms of beings, from the Avicii hells up to the highest heavens, they know the past conduct of these beings. When smelling the fragrance of hearers, resulting from their practices of giving, upholding precepts, extensive learning, and wisdom, he abides in the mind of all wisdom without being scattered or moved. When smelling the fragrance of other bodhisattvas, resulting from their practice, he enters the ground of the Tathagata through the wisdom of impartiality. When smelling the fragrance of the states of the Buddha's wisdom, he does not abandon the bodhisattva practices. These are the 10. If every bodhisattva were to accomplish these dharmas, he will attain the Tathagata's pure nose, measureless and boundless, disciples of the Buddha. A bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of tongues. What are the 10? They are the tongue of revealing and expounding the inexhaustible activities of beings, the tongue of revealing and expounding the inexhaustible Dharma doors, the tongue of praising and admiring the inexhaustible meritorious virtue of all Buddhas, the tongue of fluently expounding with infinite words and phrases, the tongue of elaborating the aiding means of the Mahayana, the tongue of pervading the space of the 10 directions everywhere, the tongue of universally illuminating all Buddha lands, the tongue of universally enabling beings to awaken and understand, the tongue of delighting all Buddhas, the tongue of subduing all demons and heretics to eliminate the afflictions of death and rebirth, and to cause them to reach nirvana. These are the 10. If every bodhisattva were to accomplish these dharmas, he would attain the Tathagata's unsurpassed tongue that pervades all Buddha lands everywhere. Disciples of the Buddha, a bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of bodies. What are the 10? They are the human body for the sake of teaching and transforming human beings, the non-human body for the sake of teaching and transforming hell beings, animals, and hungry ghosts, a heavenly body for the sake of teaching and transforming beings in the realm of desire, the realm of form, and the realm of no form, the body of a learner for the sake of demonstrating the stages of learners, the body of one beyond learning for the sake of demonstrating the stages of arhats, the body of a solitary enlightened one for the sake of teaching, transforming, and enabling him to enter the stages of Pratyeka Buddhas, the body of a bodhisattva for the sake of perfecting the Mahayana,
the body of
of
the
a
Tathagata,
Tathagata for the sake of anointing the heads of beings with the water of wisdom, the body produced at will for the sake of expediently appearing in any form, the Dharma body free of outflows for the sake of effortlessly making appear the bodies of all beings. These are the 10. If every bodhisattva were to accomplish these dharmas, he will attain the Tathagata's unsurpassed body. Disciples of the Buddha, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of minds. What are the 10? They are a supremely eminent mind because he generates all kinds of roots of goodness, a mind anchored in peace because he is deeply faithful, immovable, and steadfast, a deeply discerning mind because he penetrates the meanings of the Buddha Dharma by according with them, a mind of insight because he understands the delight in the hearts of beings, a mind beyond distraction because he will not become caught up in any affliction, a clear and pure mind because he cannot be defiled by sense objects,
a mind that skillfully observes beings because he never misses the right timing even for a single thought, a mind that skillfully
knows what to do because he never errs in any single place, a mind that closely guards all sense faculties because he guides and disciplines them without allowing them to become scattered, a mind that skillfully enters samadhi because he profoundly enters the samadhis of the Buddha without a notion of self and what belongs to self. These are the 10. If every bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he will attain the unsurpassed minds of the Buddha. Disciples of the Buddha, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of walking. What are the 10? They are the walking of hearing Dharma because he delights in the Dharma, the walking of speaking Dharma because he benefits beings, the walking of separating from greed, anger, delusion, and fear because he tames his own mind, the walking in the realm of desire because he teaches and transforms the beings in the realm of desires, the walking of abiding in the samadhis of the realm of form and the realm of no form because he causes beings there to quickly change and return, the walking of proceeding toward the meanings of Dharma because of quickly acquiring wisdom, the walking of reaching all the realms of beings because he freely teaches and transforms beings, the walking of reaching all Buddha lands because he venerates all Buddhas and makes offerings to them, the walking of reaching nirvana because he does not sever the recurring round of death and rebirth, the walking of perfecting all aspects of Buddha Dharma because he does not renounce the dharmas and conducts cultivated by a bodhisattva. These are the 10. If every bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he will attain the Tathagata's conduct of neither coming nor going. Disciples of the Buddha, a Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of standing. What are the 10? They are the standing of the Bodhi mind, because he never forgets Bodhi, the standing of Paramitas, because he never grows weary of using ailing means, the standing of speaking Dharma, because he expands his wisdom, the standing of Paranya, because he realizes great jhana concentrations, the standing of the 4 kinds of sages, complying with all wisdom and practicing Danga with contentment, because he has few desires and disturbances, the standing of deep faith, because he upholds and maintains the proper Dharma, the standing of drawing close to the Tathagata, because he learns the Buddha's awesome deportment, the standing of generating spiritual powers, because he perfects great wisdom, the standing of acquiring patience, because he fulfills the predictions given to him, the standing of Bodhi Mandalas, because he is replete with all the powers, fearlessnesses, and dharmas of a Buddha. These are the 10. If every Bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he will attain the unsurpassable of all wisdom. Disciples of the Buddha, a Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of sitting. What are the 10? They are the sitting of a wheel-turning sage king, because he causes the path of the 10 wholesome karmas to flourish, the sitting of the 4 celestial kings, because he firmly and effortlessly establishes the Buddha's teaching in all worlds, the sitting of Lakshakra, because he serves as a superior host for all beings, the sitting of the king of the Brahma heavens, because he gains self-mastery with regard to a notion of self and others, the sitting of a lion, because he is able to expound the Dharma,
the sitting of
the proper Dharma, because he instructs with the power of eloquence welling forth from the Dharanis, the adamantine throne, because he has vows reached the ultimate, the sitting of great kindness, because he enables all unwholesome beings to be joyful, the sitting of great compassion, because he endures all kinds of suffering without becoming weary, the Vajra sitting, because he vanquishes multitudes of demons and heretics. These are the 10. If every Bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he will attain the Tathagata sitting of proper awakening. Disciples of the Buddha, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of reclining. What are the 10? They are the reclining of tranquility, because he is free from craving in regard to body and mind, the reclining of jhana concentration, because he cultivates according to principle, the recline of samadhi, because he is supple in body and mind, the reclining of the king of the Brahma heavens, because he does not vex himself and others, the reclining of wholesome karma, because he has no regret after acting, the reclining of proper faith, because he is immovable, the reclining of the proper path, because he serves as a good spiritual advisor to awaken others, the reclining of wonderful vows, because he skillfully makes transferences, the reclining of accomplishing all tasks, because his undertakings reach perfection, the reclining of renouncing any effort, because whatever he does becomes effortless. These are the 10.
If every
Bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he will attain the reclining of the Tathagata's unsurpassed great Dharma and will be able to awaken all beings. Disciples of the Buddha, a Bodhisattva Mahasattva has 10 kinds of abodes. What are the 10? They are the abode of great kindness, because he is impartial toward all beings, the abode of great compassion, because he does not slight the unlearned, the abode of great joy, because he is free from afflictions, the abode of great equanimity, because he is impartial toward the conditioned and the unconditioned, the abode of all paramitas, because he takes the Bodhi resolve as foremost, the abode of all emptiness, because he skillfully contemplates, the abode of signlessness, because he does not leave the proper track, the abode of wishlessness, because he observes being undergoing rebirth, the abode of wisdom of mindfulness, because he has perfected the method of patience, the abode of the equality of all dharmas, because he has received the prediction for becoming a Buddha, These are the 10. If every bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he will attain the Tathagata's unsurpassed, unimpeded abode. Disciples of the Buddha. Bodhisattva Mahasava has 10 kinds of promenades. What are the 10? They are right mindfulness is his promenade. Because he has perfected mindfulness, all beings' tendencies are his promenade. Because he tends toward proper awakening, wisdom is his promenade. Because he has gained the joy of the Buddhas, Paramitas are his promenade. Because he is replete with the wisdom of all wisdom, the 4 dharmas of attraction is his promenade. Because he teaches and transforms beings, the round of death and rebirth is his promenade. Because he accumulates fruits of goodness, scattered composition and making merry with beings is his promenade. Because he teaches and transforms beings according to conditions, causing them to be forever free.
Spiritual powers are his
promenade. Because he knows the nature of all the roots of beings, skillful expedients are his promenade. Because he accords with all paramitas, the Bodhi Mandala is his promenade. Because he has perfected all wisdom without cutting off the Bodhisattva conduct. These are the 10. If every Bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he will attain the promenade of the Tathagata's unsurpassed great wisdom. Disciples of the Buddha. So observations. What are the 10? They are the observation of knowing all karmas, because he sees all subtle aspects. The observation of knowing all destinies, because he does not grasp at beings. The observation of knowing basic nature, because he understands beings as having or not having roots of goodness.
The observation of knowing all dharmas, because he
understands the Dharma. The observation of knowing the Buddha Dharma, because he diligently contemplates the Buddha eye. The observation of acquiring wisdom, because he speaks the Dharma in accord with principle. The observation of the patience of non-production, because he decisively understands the Buddha Dharma. The observation of the ground of non-regression, because he has eliminated all afflictions and has surpassed the 3 realms, as well as the grounds of the 2 vehicles. The observation of the ground of alignment on the head, because he has attained self-mastery and is immovable with regard to the Buddha Dharma. The observation of samadhi through skillful awareness, because he carries out the work of a Buddha everywhere in the 10 directions. These are the 10. If every bodhisattva were to abide peacefully in these dharmas, he will attain the Tathagata's wisdom of observation, unsurpassed and great. Namo Sambandha Motana Apolati Hatoja Janani Chini Chini Tathagata Namo Ashanti Voladi Uttamo Tamo Tathagata Namo Ahom Pansoho Namo Sambandha Motana Apolati Hatoja Janani Chini Chini Tathagata Namo Ashanti Voladi Uttamo Tamo Tathagata Namo Ahom Pansoho Namo Sambandha Motana Apolati Hatoja Janani Chini Chini Tathagata Namo Ashanti Voladi Uttamo Tamo Tathagata Namo Ahom Pansoho. Praise for the 8th assembly. In the assembly for the 3rd time in the Universal Light Palace, the myriad practices are perfectly cultivated. From Samantabhadra's vessel, 2,000 responses pour forth. In the ocean of suffering, he sails the boat of kindness. A single phrase totally encompasses all Dharma meanings together, yet all pervasive. eyes awake to great compassion, stir men to joy. May kindness find reward, may all sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise. Bow in respect to the Venerable Master. Namo 大放光佛华严经